SAVE, S-A-V-E, is dead. He's one of the 7.5 million people sitting in administrative forbearance right now wondering what the hell happens next. This video is for you. SAVE, the Saving on a Valuable Education Plan. It's a Biden administration income-driven repayment plan for most people chasing public service loan forgiveness. It offered the lowest monthly payment of any option out there. It calculated what you owed based on 5 to 10% of your discretionary income. It projected 225% of the federal poverty line. That means if you weren't making much, you might have been paying $0 a month, and those months still counted towards forgiveness. It also had a safety net. If your payment didn't cover the interest, the government ate the difference. Your balance didn't balloon. You weren't punished for being broke while doing meaningful work. Then the courts got involved. Missouri sued, the appeals court ruled, and on March 10th, 2026, SAVE was permanently struck down. Not paused, not revised, gone. Here's what's happening to you right now if you were on SAVE. You've been placed in what's called administrative forbearance. That sounds bureaucratically gentle. It's not. Yes, your monthly payment is $0 right now, but interest has been running since August of 2025, and here's the part that should make your blood boil. Those months don't count towards your 120 PSLF payments. You're not moving forward, you're treading water, while the clock doesn't run and the debt grows. The only way to retroactively count those months is something called the buyback process, where you pay a lump sum after the fact to make those months qualify. But here's the cruelty in the math. Under SAVE, 20 months of payments might have cost you around $4,300 total. Under IBR, which is the rate used for buyback now, that same 20 months, we're talking $12,800. Nearly 3 times the cost for the exact same months. Same work, same service. They didn't just end the plan, they retroactively made the past more expensive. So, what are your options? Well, let's be real with the numbers, because the gap between SAVE and what comes next is not small. Take a single borrower, undergraduate loans only, making $75K a year, a realistic public school teacher, a social worker, government analyst. Under SAVE, about $200.15. $215 a month. Under IBR, your best immediate option right now, it's now about $640 a month. Under RAP, the new plan launching July 2026, maybe in the mid-range, $450 to $550. That's $2,500 to $5,000 more per year out of pocket for the same borrower during the same public service job, just born into the wrong policy window. Over 10 years, instead of paying roughly $26,000 total under SAVE, you're now looking at $54,000 to $77,000, and everything above that still gets forgiven. But that gap, that's real money. That's real rent. That's a real car. That's a real decade of financial breathing room. Now, starting July 1st, 2026. You get a 90-day window to pick a new plan. If you don't choose, the government chooses for you, likely the standard 10-year plan or whatever they decide is appropriate. And on a standard plan, your monthly payment could be dramatically higher, and it may not be even qualified for PSLF, depending on your loan type. You do not want to let this window close without acting. If you're in a SAVE forbearance and you want PSLF, submit your IBR application now, not in June, not after June, July, now. Every month you're in active repayment on a qualifying plan as monthly counts. Think hard about buyback only if you're close to 120 payments and the lump sum is generally manageable. For many people, the math no longer works in their favor. Continuing forward under IBR may cost you less total than buying back months at the higher rate. Watch for notices from your loan servicer in the coming weeks. Major transition communications going out. Don't ignore them. Don't let them sit unread. This country asked a generation of its most educated people to take on debt, sometimes 6 figures of it, in exchange for a future, a stable career, a middle-class life. And that said, well, if you go serve the public, teach the kids, staff the clinics, work the government jobs, we'll forgive you. Well, what's left after 10 years? Come on, man. It's a honest sacrifice. It won't be there for you at the end. And through it all, people made life decisions based on that promise. They turned down higher-paying private sector jobs. They deferred home ownership. They planned families around what payments would be. SAVE wasn't just a repayment plan. It was the thing that made the math of public service survivable for millions of people. And the federal appeals court, in a settlement that most borrowers had no seat at the table for, just ended that. You cannot file bankruptcy on student loans. Most of you know that. You cannot discharge this debt if life falls apart. The system was designed with no exit and no parachute, except for promises they made. Some of those promises still stand. PSLF still does exist-ish. Forgiveness is still real. The path is harder now, more expensive, more punishing, but it's technically still there. So, for those still in it, stay in the fight. Know your numbers, make the switch, and keep your records. And know that your frustration is not ignorance, it's accuracy. They broke the promise, you didn't. Keep going.